Hey everybody, welcome back to BigRedEDC. Well, today we're going to be talking traditional knives again. But these just aren't any traditional knives. These are the three traditional slip joints from Kershaw for the 2020 releases. Now, you have in front of you, you have the Gadsden, you have the Brandywine, and you have the Culpeper. Now, I have previously reviewed the Culpeper, but I really wanted to get all three of these knives in one video. And I had these two, thanks to my good buddy Brad over at Mild-Mannered EDC. He actually sent the Brandywine for me to check out. Now, like I was saying, I think it's a really neat idea, and it kind of goes back in time for Kershaw and gets, back to the basics, if you will. And, for these three traditionals, I was pretty impressed with them, to be perfectly honest with you. They're all three pretty darn good knives. Now, as I said, I had previously reviewed the Culpeper, and so did Brad over at Mild Mannered EDC. Now, the one he got, his grind was a little bit wonky on the Culpeper, but I tell you, these three, I mean, to me, they're really well done. Well done knives. So, we're going to take a quick look at all three, and we might even hear from Brad while we're at it. First off, we're going to start out, with the Gadsden. Now, of course, there you go. You have the Gadsden and Culpeper, the Don't Tread on Me flag. I thought that was kind of a neat naming scheme they had going. But as you can see, the Gadsden, is pretty much a standard small trapper. You've got your clip point. And of course, you've got your spade blade. Pretty much traditional trapper style. Now, we'll take a look at them. As you can see, brass liners. No real gapping on this one. It's a pretty well done knife. Everything's chamfered pretty well. Your transitions are done very nicely. Pins, I mean, look at that. The pins are really nicely recessed. All in all, this little guy is a really, really good little knife. We'll just throw out some quick specs on it. You're looking at about a 3.5 inch closed knife. Open it up, and we're gonna get about, what do we got there? 6. We'll go 6.25, pretty much. So your blade is gonna be roughly about 2 3/4 inches with about 2 3/8, we'll call it, on the cutting edge. Again, really nice close-up look. As you can see, everything's done. They're just really well done knives. Your pulls, the pull on the main, on the clip, I mean, we're talking maybe a 4. On the spay, maybe a 4, 4.5. No half stops. Decent walk and talk. Not too bad on both. But overall, a pretty darn nice little knife. Now, as I said, next we have the Brandywine. Now, as I said, my buddy Brad loaned me this knife to check out. Brad from Mild Mannered EDC. Well, after everything was said and done, he was like, well, why don't you just go ahead and keep it so you have the whole collection. So that was very nice of him. So thank you very much, Brad. But speaking of Brad, how about we find out what he thought about these knives. So what do you got to say, Brad?
Thanks, JB. Hey everybody, Brad here with Mild Mannered EDC. Wanted to take this opportunity to kind of give you my 2 cents on the three knives, the three traditional slip joints that Kershaw put out here so far in 2020, and those are the Culpeper, the Brandywine, and here's the Gadsden, and I have reviews up on my channel of these two. The reason these are printed out and cut out by yours truly. So the Culpeper I gave away. The Brandywine is actually sitting over at BigRedEDC, and this is actually Big Red's Gadsden. So this one actually is live and in person. So there you go. And there will be a review forthcoming of this particular knife. But when in talking with JB, really appreciated him giving the opportunity to incorporate some of my comments into his video, and I think overall, I wanted to come up with sort of one word that I think described these three knives for me more than anything. I mean, you know, they have good fit and finish. The materials are decent. The price point I think is quite good. You know, they weren't made in the United States. They were made in China. So that, you know, that can be a bummer for some. I would have liked to see these made in the US, but I'm not sure you could have hit that price point either. So it is what it is. All that said, by and large, I think the word that I would use sort of overarching all these is refreshing. It was refreshing to see Kershaw come out with these this year. Not only did they come out with some cool designs, they varied them up. You know, the Brandywine was quite small, but still, you know, well done. The Culpeper, I think, is probably my favorite of the three. Had a nice, good-sized blade on it. Mine particular one had a little bit of a wonky grind, but I think that's, you know, that's kind of par for the course on some level with these kind of knives. And then the Gadsden here, there'll be a review forthcoming. But yeah, I mean, you know, these were all well-made, affordable, hard to argue with traditional slip joints from a modern knife company. And the fact that it sort of harkened back to their roots gives those of us that generally spend our time talking about, you know, these kind of knives, you know, really an opportunity to enjoy something modern but traditional, and, you know, traditional but in modern materials and modern machining, and at a price that a lot of people can enjoy. So really a refreshing trio here. I've enjoyed them a lot. The Culpeper, the Brandywine, and the Gadsden. I'm glad Kershaw did them. I hope you have a chance to take a look at them, watch Big Red's reviews, my reviews, other reviews out there, and get a sense if they might be right for you. And with that, thanks a lot, JB. Really appreciate it. Stay well, everybody. Be mild-mannered to one another. All the best.
Right on, Brad. Greatly appreciate you doing that, man. Telling us your thoughts on the three Kershaw slip joints. Really appreciate it, man. So as I said, here you go. You got the Brandywine. Now, your Brandywine is a three-bladed pattern. You've got the small spay. You got your large clip. You might even refer to that. California clip might be a little, I mean, you could call that a California clip, maybe. Tobias will let me know. And then you have your sheep's foot blade on this one. Some specs real quick. You're looking at about just over 3.5 inches closed on your main blade. On your clip point, you're looking at 6, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whoa, look out. Craziness. It wants to spin. They all want to spin. Stop that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 1/4. Yep, 6 1/4 fully open. Like I said, if we'll say 3.5 on the handle, so you're looking at about a 2 3/4 inch blade, roughly, with about a 2 3/8 inch cutting edge on that clip. Sheep's foot blade. What are we getting out of there? You're getting about a 2-inch sheep's foot with a cutting edge of about almost 1.25 inches. And then on your spay, should be fairly comparable. Yep, almost 2 inches with, man, that one's about 1 5/8 inches cutting edge on the spay blade. Again, really well done. No real gapping. Transitions are done well. Pins are done really well. Just, again, a really nice, well done knife. And then, of course, we have the Culpepper. A quick review on it. That's kind of got that nice, did somebody call that the Grandma's Barlow? Or Grandpa's Barlow? I can't remember. But it's kind of that Barlow pattern. Again, everything is really nicely done on it. Gaps. Maybe a little one up there. But just really, really well done knives. Pins look nice. Really like the clip point on the Culpepper. It's a good size knife. What do we got there? You're looking at about, what's that, 7 and almost 7 3/8 overall, 4-inch handle, 3 3/8 inch blade with about a 3-inch cutting edge on it. The Culpepper is probably my favorite of the bunch. Like I said, good size knife. Love that blade. I mean, I'm pretty partial to the Barlow pattern. So, you know. But again, I have reviewed it previously. So, I mean, you can always go check it out. Hopefully a link popped up there at some point so you could actually see, or a card up there in the corner, you know, kind of up there, if you want to go check out the Culpepper review. But I just really, really wanted to get these 3 knives on the table together, and I appreciate Brad loan and eventual kind of gifting of the Brandywine to make that possible. I'll actually loan him the Gadsden so he could kind of check it out. So, what do you think, guys? Let me know down in the comments. What are your thoughts on these 3 knives? Price-wise, I mean, you're looking at, what, about $22, I believe, on the Gadsden. And then the Brandywine and the Culpepper are 25, 26 right in there. So not too bad as far as price goes. 7CR17 steel. Yeah, it's not the greatest steel out there. But for what you're going to be doing with these knives, it's not that bad. I mean, these aren't really heavy-duty use knives. I wouldn't, you know, the Culpepper, you could probably start doing some work on it. I've done a little bit of rope work with it, and it did all right. Not too bad. So, you know, with these two, I mean, they're pretty much lighter-duty knives, cutting some packages, maybe cutting some fruit, you know, that type of thing. That's pretty much, you can do some whittling with them. Sure, why not? Why not? I don't think I told you the poles on the Brandywine. What's that one? They're all pretty much, yeah, that one's about a 4. Again, a 4. Well, maybe a 5 on the sheep's foot. Nice snap. They all have a decent walk and talk. Pole on this one. Yeah, that's a 5 to 6 probably. Nice snap. Yeah, good back spring on that Culpepper. But yeah, guys, let me know down in the comments. I'm really interested to hear your thoughts, what you think about them. And definitely thanks again to Brad from Mild Mannered EDC for doing a little guest spot here, giving us his thoughts on the 3 traditional slip joints released by Kershaw this year. As always, guys, thank you so much for stopping by, checking out the video. As always, like, subscribe, leave me that comment. You know I love talking to y'all. Till next time, guys. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.